Hi there, guys. Welcome back. I know it's been a while. Today, I wanted to do a little bit of an introduction video. So, I have a couple questions I'm going to go over. Um, I'm going to kind of try to put time slots in the video. I don't know if that's something I can do yet, but I'm going to try to list that down below so you guys will know what points to watch if you're just wanting to watch for weight loss tips or whatnot. But let's get started. So, for the first question, where did I grow up? So I grew up in Washington State. I pretty much have lived here my whole life. The only time I didn't live here was I moved to Texas when I was 18 with my husband. I got married pretty young, and so we decided to move down there. That's where he was from. We just got back up here to Washington State in December of last year, so it's been about 6, 7 months. Um, but yeah, I've lived in Washington my whole life. I grew up off and on reservations here. But yeah. Um, what does my family look like? I have tons and tons of family. I don't really know how to answer this question. I grew up with mainly a single mom. I did have a stepdad at some point. Sometimes my dad was in my life, but it's really been inconsistent with him. I have a lot of half siblings. I actually have a half sister, and she lives in Greece. Um, my family. I grew up a lot with my grandparents too. Like I lived with both my grandmas at some point. One thing I always like talking about, and I always feel like I'm bragging, but my great grandfather, well, my grandma, my paternal grandma, her grandfather is actually the inspiration behind the Redskins logo. And so that's something I like telling people sometimes. Um, the third question, some of my current goals. One of my current goals right now is to go back to school. I have a little bit of schooling done. I have my associate's degree. I got that when I was in high school, though, and I have that in politics, government, and social works. I want to go back to school for law and also nutrition. So hopefully, sometime soon, I'll be doing that. Another goal of mine right now would probably be to finish this cut and to start bulking at some point again here soon. I want to lose at least 10 pounds, if not 15, and then bulk back up and see how I look from there. Um, Fourth question. What's a typical day like for you? Um, for me, so I typically start at about 4:30 in the morning. I get up, get ready. We're normally at the gym by about 5:30, if not a little later. From there, about 8 o'clock, I go home. We eat some food, get ready for the day, really. If I have work, it's typically later in the day. So I'll come back here to the gym. I do like 5 hour shifts. So before that, I'm typically just doing beadwork orders or doing like lately, I've been studying a lot for my NAS and my CPT exam. But it honestly just depends on the day, really. Fifth question. Do I have any skills or talents that most people don't know about? This is a really good question, and I'm actually really glad I got this on my Instagram. One thing that I do like doing a lot is beadwork, and so what I do is I'll do a lot of custom orders. Like lately, I've been doing a lot of custom orders, but I make earrings, medallions, pretty much anything you could think of. And it takes me a long time typically for orders. Like the current order I've been working on has taken me a couple months. It's a lot of time and detail, a lot of small little baby beads that I'm pretty much sewing on one by one. So, yeah, that's one thing that people don't really know about me. Did I play any sports growing up? So I played a lot of sports growing up. Like I said, I'm native, so I played a lot of res ball. I played basketball at school. I played volleyball. I did track, um, cheer. I did cheer. I did dance growing up too. So I did gymnastics, tap, hip hop, ballet. I'm trying to think of anything else I did. I did a lot of intramural sports, so I did a little bit of everything at some point. Mm, favorite and least favorite muscle groups to work. So I think my favorite, honestly, that's kind of hard for me because I do really enjoy upper days. I really like back days, but I think probably legs or glutes. That's always one of my favorites. My least favorite, just more specifically, I hate, hate doing calves, and that's why my calves are so tiny. It's also because they cramp super easily, and so they just like will remain tight the whole day after I do them. But yeah, I hate doing calves. Um, okay, we're getting to the last couple of questions. This is one of my most asked questions. How did I lose weight? How did I lose over 100 pounds? And honestly, this could be a whole separate video. But the main thing was consistency with my diet and eating in a proper calorie deficit. And I didn't mean starving myself. That meant making sure I was hitting my protein, my carbs, and whatnot, but still being in a deficit. Um, I get just tons of questions about this, and a lot of people will ask me, "Well, how do you get rid of arm fat? How do you get rid of back fat?" And honestly, I didn't see the last little bit of back rolls and underarms come off until not even until honestly this year, if not like maybe yeah, this year, honestly, this year. Like it took a while, and I've always had to tell people you can't you can't spot reduce. That's not how it works. When you're losing fat, it comes off your whole body. So that's like the main takeaway right now. Can't spot reduce fat, calorie deficit, but a proper calorie deficit, not starving yourself. And then for the last question, this is the last and final question I got on my Instagram. When are you stepping on stage? So I've gotten this question a lot lately. I don't have an answer. I just was talking to somebody this week who she's competed several times, and I told her I just want to make sure I'm fully prepared to step on stage. I feel like nowadays, in the age of social media, there are a lot of people, and I'm not calling anybody out specifically. I don't even really know anybody who's competing currently. But I see a lot of people who I personally just don't think are ready to compete, and they put themselves out there and kind of put themselves in a vulnerable position. So I just want to give myself as much time as possible to get ready to even go through a couple more phases of cutting and bulking before I even think about stepping on stage. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys kind of got a little more information about me. And if you have any more questions, please ask down below. I'll probably do like a more in-depth how I lost the weight video and just more about my routine in general. But I hope this introduction video was good for now. So thank you guys, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Bye.